The Mystery of Tirmatral, Retold. Tyr, the beginning of time, the Old Kingdom. The people of Artwind have been recounting this legend for hundreds of generations, even since before the fall of the Old Kingdom. At the beginning of all creation, there was light and darkness. At some point, both of these ancient energies united with one another, and a god was made, named Tira, after the old words for darkness, Ra, and the almighty light, Ti or Tu. Using his eternal power, he created the world. Then he took a pile of earth and turned it into the first primordial man. Then from this primordial humanoid, all other human races that live in the world were made. Because Tyr didn't want to stand in the way of things anymore, he created an undisturbed place for him and his seraphim within a parallel dimension. Years passed by, and kingdoms blossomed. Kings died. Wars raged. It was also the time where a powerful kingdom arose under the crown of Groth, a white human boy. This kingdom had several regions, and within its borders lived different nations in peace and harmony. Chapter 2. The End of Tirmatral, the Banishing of Art, the Battle of Storm, the Creation of Artwind. Yet with his endeavors, Tyr had also reaped hatred, especially amongst his seraphim. Among them was one they called Art. He hated Tyr because he had given his breath to all beings, just not the seraphim. Art tried to overthrow Tyr, but his efforts failed, and after a terrible fight amongst the seraphim, Art was struck down. His wings were ripped off, and he was banished to the earth forever to fulfill his destiny amongst the mortals. But in his rage, Art created a dark army of shadow warriors, and with the help of a master of necromancy, he shifted the entire kingdom of Tirmatral with his shadow. Nobody was able to destroy the dark army. However, Tyr sent his arch-seraphim Wend to Earth. He won the trust of the young tribal leader. Together, they were able to unite the nations of Tirmatral and build up an enormous army. The years went by, and Art's army was gradually pushed further and further back. In the ruins of the town that was once Storm, Wend and Art met each other in battle, from which Wend emerged as victorious. Art's body was locked in the old halls of Enderal. However, Wend was weakened so much that he collapsed right there and then. The tribal leader was elected the first emperor of the new kingdom that was named Artwind. Upon the ruins of Storm, the emperor built a mighty city, and upon the place Wend had died, he created a mighty tower for himself. Wend's body was to be brought to the eternal town of Tirat, but on the way there, his body was robbed and defiled by dark creatures. Chapter 3. The Emperor's Death, the preliminary end of the Emperor lineage, the fall of the Empire, the tyrant Brutus. Centuries passed, the kingdom blossomed under the rule of the Emperor. During his time, there were no conflicts. Many great towns were made in this time. However, as peace was still reigning over the realm, a mysterious cult began to form. This cult strongly believed in the resurrection of Art and posed a serious threat for the kingdom. When the emperor tried to destroy the cult, his galley was attacked. The entire lineage of emperors was also taken out by intrigues. Only two were able to save themselves. They were twins and had only been born a short time beforehand. They were both brought out of the country. Now the former Chancellor of Stormwind took over the reign of the realm of man. The realm broke up into several smaller regions. The Chancellor was an evil tyrant, and there were rumors that he was the driving force behind the mysterious cult. He had the High Council of Stormwind, replaced by one he formed himself. However, the sovereign of the old council, Callisto, once of the Chancellor's confidants, stood upon his defense. Together with other former confidants, he formed a secret covenant to fight against the tyrants. But the Chancellor fought against this covenant with all his might, and Callisto had to leave the town. Before he fled the town, he sealed the Emperor's old tower with a powerful spell. Brutus was not able to break his spell and could not enter the tower anymore. The years passed by, a shadow lay over the lands of Artwind, and rumors arose that Art had resurrected. That's a nice little tie-in back to Artwind. That's really cool.